On January 28th, 2023, YouTuber MrBeast uploads a video where he pays for surgeries to allow 1,000 blind people to see for the first time. It's definitely not a video concept people were expecting him to attempt, and out of this whiplash, a discourse started on whether or not him doing this was as good or virtuous as people were making it out to be. There are some interesting and nuanced ideas pertaining to making content about acts of charity that could be discussed through this video, but there's also a lot of outright dismissal of any of those ideas if they paint MrBeast's act in a negative light or attempt to connect him with wider systemic issues, unfortunately. I'm not the kind of person to talk about why capitalism and rich people are an inherent evil that must be destroyed, but you don't really need to be to understand why the ramifications of MrBeast making this video could be at least somewhat concerning. This goes without saying, but MrBeast doing this is definitely a great act of charity, but I don't think anyone talking negatively about this video is really criticizing him for curing people's blindness. Instead, the real criticism of the video is that it needed to be made in the first place, and I'm gonna try to explain it a little better than terminally online political Twitter users seem to be able to. So you remember when everyone hated those videos of people recording themselves giving money to homeless people? Obviously, helping the homeless is a good thing to do, but it doesn't outweigh the fact that they chose to record and publish themselves doing it to the internet. It tells us that your priorities are making yourself look like a good person more than the act of doing good itself. It isn't necessary to prove to strangers on the internet that you give money to homeless people, unless you're seeking the benefit of the attention and admiration of others, and you know that giving a homeless guy $1,000 shocked face emoji would make for a YouTube video that's gonna get 1 million views. Even if you think your intentions were entirely virtuous, or try to convince people that the video is about inspiring others to also give money to homeless people, the fact that you also felt the need to show the world your act of charity yourself, instead of it just being a one-on-one moment, or inspiring people to give to the homeless by just consistently giving to the homeless, or even waiting for others to report on you doing it if you need press in order to spread your message that much, then there's definitely some part of your intentions that isn't purely to help others, and there's a chance you never would have even thought to give that homeless guy money if you also thought it wouldn't have made for a good way to bring attention to yourself. And that's essentially the same problem with MrBeast's video. Granted, I don't think MrBeast has any truly egotistical intent, at least not to my knowledge, but the issues with making yourself the focus of the charitable content, or that charity is becoming content in the first place, is still there. And to clarify, when I say content, I don't mean just any video uploaded to YouTube. I mean the kinds of videos that would have a person with a shocked, oversaturated face in the thumbnail and a link to the merch store in the description. Sure, paying for expensive surgeries to change people's lives for the better is an amazing thing to do in his position, but it disconcerts a lot of people that he also thought of turning something like this into YouTube content with the same style as an over-edited Minecraft Let's Play, while also intentionally centering the video on him performing the act rather than the act itself. Another quick note outside of the wider argument is that it just rubs a lot of people the wrong way that legitimate acts of charity and wacky game show charity are being thought of in the same way in terms of branding and tone. There's a big difference between giving someone a cash prize for winning real-life Squid Games or standing in a circle for 3 days and straight up just paying for someone's medical bills to give them the life-changing surgery they never could have dreamed of affording otherwise. And delivering both of these ideas in the same overactive YouTuber-y style with the same lack of reverence just feels really wrong to me. A lot of the common counter-arguments are usually just whataboutisms where people can't talk about how the systems in place make situations like this occur because they also participate in the systems, and other rich people also exist. Or something about them not accomplishing as much as MrBeast has, because now you need to also be a wildly successful YouTuber that's cured blindness to speak on this issue, and that the people saying this have never been annoyed by people dismissing negative discussion of creators viewers like by comparing accomplishments before, or just general dismissal of the discourse because they see it as being a buzzkill to MrBeast's good deed. But a more interesting argument is that he needed to make a video about this in order to continue doing acts of good like this in the future, but no, there's no obligation for him to turn everything he does with his money into a video, and there's nothing stopping him from doing something like this off camera on the side. He's still gonna be a 100 millionaire with plenty of income streams after an act like this is over. It's not like he does something good without filming it and his bank account and life force immediately start draining away. I guess he might as well have turned this into a video if he was gonna sink that much time and effort into this, but that's exactly what's concerning. This obligation to turn whatever good he's doing into a YouTube video instead of just doing good because doing good is good to do. It's extremely rare for Mr. Beast to do an act of charity without turning it into content or centering it on himself. Though, to be fair again, doing any charity at all is definitely more than most people in his position do, especially at his scale. But unfortunately, him doing it in the way he does comes with a lot of baggage that you'd have to be willfully ignorant not to see. This isn't about assigning blame or malintent to Mr. Beast, and frankly, the fringe people who aren't the kinds of people that I would want to listen to. It's more about being disappointed in the time we live in, where the most accessible way for these people to fix their issues is to be turned into a YouTube video, and not just helped by the institutions that should be helping them by default. So, in conclusion, capitalism and rich people are an inherent evil that must be destroyed. Thanks for watching.